Greetings. Thank you for joining today's webinar, LoadMaster 360, Successfully Managing Your LoadMaster Fleet. My name is Rochelle Wheeler, and I am joined today by Principal Solutions Engineer Kurt Young.
Thanks, Rochelle. Hi, everyone. And again, thanks for joining. Hope everyone's having a great day. I, for one, am really excited to be presenting LoadMaster 360 with all of you. So jump over to our agenda. So what I'll do is take you through a few slides to focus on the different areas of LoadMaster 360. We'll jump into a demo and then talk a few minutes about what's coming next. And then we can wrap up with a Q&A. So starting off with progress as a whole, some on the call today I would guess have been using LoadMaster for some time prior to the acquisition by Progress and may not be as familiar with the company. So as you can see on the slide, the Progress portfolio is just packed with different technologies that truly help our customers succeed. And the reason that I point out this vast display of products we provide is that there are a select few here that I'm going to call out later in the presentation, and we'll talk about how we're able to leverage some of this expertise to extend LoadMaster 360 and in turn add more value to your organization. Before we get into that, I think a good question would be, right, what is LoadMaster 360? Well, it's a SaaS offering from Progress. We launched this in October of last year. It's an add-on for LoadMaster that delivers additional value as it pertains to your application delivery. So providing insights to the health of the LoadMasters, the applications being published, issue resolution, providing rich in-context help whenever those issues arise. Whether you're a customer that has really dozens of LoadMasters publishing applications right throughout your environment, or a customer that just has a handful, right? LoadMaster 360 is going to deliver that value, right, to make sure that those business critical applications are available and optimized to support the organization. So how does it deliver this value? Well, we can look at this from 6 different areas, which some are not yet released, and I will highlight those as we start going throughout these areas. Starting off with usability and experience. So optimized workflows to ensure that the users of the platform gain access to what they need to be successful, right? Making certain that the data is, number one, digestible, but also very pleasing visually, right? Wrapped up nicely with this new modern UI, right? We all love dark mode, right? Certificate lifecycle management. So hopefully all the applications being delivered in your organizations are encrypted, and hopefully no one on the call has experienced an issue where a certificate used to secure those applications expired, right? If so, right, you're not alone, right? Some of the largest, most successful businesses across the globe have experienced outages due to expired certificates. LoadMaster 360 will monitor and alert when certificates are coming up on expiration to avoid any potential downtime, right? So now we do have on our roadmap to expand this, right, to include true cert management, right, and automation. So more to come on that. Application analytics, telemetry, rich comprehensive dashboards, right, to surface the health, performance, security of those applications being published, and really the LoadMasters as well, right, used to publish them. There's a lot currently baked into LoadMaster 360, and we'll get into more detail on a couple later slides, and certainly in the demo later on in the presentation. Now, configuration management. This is coming to LoadMaster 360. We first needed to deliver the visibility aspects before we delivered this level of automation and configuration. But no, it is on the roadmap where you'll be able to truly manage all aspects of LoadMaster from within the LoadMaster 360 interface. Incident management, right? We all know, right? Issues are going to occur in the environment, right? That's unavoidable. The more information that we have about those incidents, the better equipped we are to resolve them, right? So the LoadMaster 360 Incident Center, providing that context-rich details about the issue to really reduce the time to resolution, eliminate that duration of the outage, or better yet, even avoid an outage altogether. That's all about the incident center and incident management. And policy management and enforcement. This is all about compliance, granular access, detection of drift in the configuration. This feature is on the roadmap, so stay tuned. Now, all of this is being brought under that single pane of glass, right, to really allow your better efficiency, right, for your teams to manage all of those business applications. So let's drill into some of these areas a little bit more, right, before we jump into the demo, starting off with the usability and experience. The data we provide is, of course, important, right? But how we display and deliver this information is and will continue to be the focus of LoadMaster 360. Right? The flexibility of the dashboards, how the data is displayed in the widgets, drill down capabilities, right? All wrapped up in this nice modern UI. So even looking at this screenshot, right? There's a ton of information being displayed, but without even knowing what any of those widgets are, you get a sense of the state of this environment just at a glance, giving the ability to start focusing in and drilling into these problem areas to start addressing them. With that first screenshot as an overview, here we see the LoadMaster details as to the health, are there open incidents, license information, LoadMaster version and model, performance metrics, right, memory, CPU utilization, historical view of availability over time, daily connection count, all of which gives you what you need to know about each LoadMaster that's running in the environment. Now, similar to the LoadMaster details, here we see the details of the applications being published, right? The health of the application. Are there any real servers or virtual services offline? Now, also just to add to that, LoadMaster 360 allows for the manual creation of applications. So it's not assumed that one virtual service equates to one application. There are many instances where multiple virtual services are leveraged to support the application. So having the ability to map these together gives the customer the flexibility to visualize the application in the right way. Again, summary of active incidents from the incident center, historical view of availability, total connections per virtual service, with the ability to visualize the distribution of connections to those multiple backend systems, right? Are there cases where you're seeing lumpy load balancing? One backend system is getting a significant amount more connections than those other real servers. Now, this may be expected due to the configuration, the scheduling that you have set up, or maybe it's an indication of a potential misconfiguration or something even external to the load balancer that's causing this. But having this clear visibility of the behavior of the distribution is going to help you understand a lot more about the application and really how it's being served. Application security. Now, we already talked about the expiration of certs, but anyone enabling pre-authentication capabilities on LoadMaster with the Edge Security Pack, insights are provided on active sessions, successful and failed attempts, blocked users, as well as top client source IP addresses and URI requests. Again, providing it in a way that's easy to consume. Are you seeing a burst of unsuccessful authentications? Why is that? Should you be concerned? Maybe, and something you should certainly look at. There's also some WAF widgets available in LoadMaster 360 today, and we'll talk about how we're expanding in this area when we talk about the roadmap a little bit later. And the Incident Center, right? Monitoring the health of the LoadMaster's application availability, and not just alerting when something goes down, but providing rich context to help you address the issue, description of the issue, some links to related knowledge base articles to steer you in the right direction, recent configuration changes, which may be related to the issue. Right? In this screenshot, if you have a better vision than I do, you can see someone updated the health checking parameter around the same time the outage occurred. A coincidence? Probably not, right? Also, prior occurrences. This issue occurred 148 times 12 times in the last 30 days. Right? When I'm troubleshooting a problem, this is definitely information I would love to have to help identify what's going on. Now, this has all been built with the experience extracted from our support team, right? Decades and decades of expertise in this area, right? Really valuable information to help you address those issues quickly. Okay, let's jump into a demo and check it out. Okay, here we are in the LoadMaster 360 user interface. And the first thing I want to point out is I'll be taking you through this demo using demo mode. So we have this little toggle over here, which will, putting it in demo mode, will put LoadMaster 360 in a read-only state, but will populate all kinds of data, sample data that you could use to see what value it brings to different aspects of application delivery. So it's great for me to do a demo, but also as a customer, you'll be able to toggle this. Say you were thinking about enabling pre-authentication capabilities on your LoadMasters, and you wanted to see what type of widgets are available and what kind of value and information those widgets provide. You'll be able to toggle demo mode on for yourself to see that stuff before you enable that kind of functionality. So again, great benefit for me, but also great benefit for you as well. Now I will be toggling demo mode on and off because again, there's some things that I want to do which requires us to start, again, make it not read only, where I can make some edits in there. So maybe toggling it back on and off, and there may be some caching problems, but that's okay. We'll get through this. It's a live demo. So first off, let's talk about, before we get into any of the different dashboards, how does this work, right? How within your environment you have your LoadMasters running, how are we feeding the SaaS environment with information coming from your LoadMasters? So we'll just jump right over to infrastructure and device inventory. So here's where we see a list of all the LoadMasters that are in the environment, as well as this connector, right? And this is the piece that's going to allow us to get that information from those LoadMasters. So let me turn this off of demo mode. We'll see about adding a new device and creating a connector. So creating a connector, very simple, right? You go in, you pick your hypervisor. It's obviously a virtual appliance running on Hyper-V or VMware. We have an Azure connector in beta currently, and we're currently working on the AWS connector as well for those multi-cloud environments. Connector name, right? We could do a disk size, right, depending on the amount of logs that we feel are be generated in your environment from 64 gigabytes to 512 gigabytes. We have a little description, and then network settings. You want to use DHCP or do you want to give a static IP address? The option is yours. We also have the ability to, this concept of sites, right? So you can organize your LoadMasters and connectors based on the different sites in your environment. So you add the connector, you download it, you deploy it, and then there's a secure connection coming up to our SaaS platform to feed the dashboards and everything else within LoadMaster 360. Speaking of security, where we also have, when logging in, we have multi-factor authentication, which can be enabled, which will again provide that multi-factor authentication to help secure your environment as well. So let's go back in. Well, before we go back into demo mode, I'll stay in this mode first. So really the flexibility of the dashboards, right? You can have multiple dashboards, and then you can obviously, move things around, resize things depending on what you need, what you like. Add new widgets. We have them all grouped under these different categories. For instance, you can go here and go into WAF, select the new WAF widget, select the LoadMaster, save it, and then place it wherever or however you'd like on your dashboard. So a lot of flexibility in these dashboards, multiple dashboards based on maybe different applications or different business units, however you may need to work them. So let's go back into demo mode. So on the top here, we have kind of our overview of our application and LoadMaster health, right? We have a little idea of how many we have healthy, warning, and in critical states. We have a little bit more details from the application standpoint. Again, the number of critical events and warnings, and the virtual services that are associated with that application, and of course the status. Down here on the LoadMasters, again, more information of the CPU memory, version, model, and of course the state of its health. We scroll down a little bit, we have a widget that is pulling from our incident center, right? So we can see incidents by severity or status, resolved or unresolved, as well as our certificate expiration widget. We see here we have 9 certificates, all are in good shape here. This is greater than 90 days. This is less than 90, but greater than 30. So once we get into 30 or 0, we'll start getting this changing to yellow and then red. Down here is where we have our pre-authentication, our single sign-on edge security pack widgets, right? So we have our active SSO sessions. You can see them by different domains. We also have the scale. We can actually zoom in a bit more if we wanted to get a closer look. Down here we have our heat map of successful authentications. Once again, we can look at this from the most number of successful logins during different periods of time. We can see this looks normal. Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday we don't have any here. And then we also have our failed single sign-on attempts, right? And we can drill into these to get more information about when those failed attempts occurred. And down at the bottom, we have our top URI requests, and we have our top client source IP addresses, as well as our blocked server list, our blocked user list as well. So again, our drill down capabilities, we can drill into an application. We can get some information about it. Number one, its health. We can see if there's any unresolved issues from the incident center. We can see the status real quickly of the LoadMaster that's publishing this application, and then the different virtual services that are associated with it. And we can see the availability over the last 7 days there. Here we see our total application connections across all those virtual services, or we can drill into a specific virtual service to see that distribution to those back-end systems and how that's happening. Here we have 3. This one we have 4 different real servers on that back end. If I want to go ahead and drill into the LoadMaster health that's associated with that application, I can once again see the health status, any kind of issues out of the incident center. Looks like we have none here, which is great. And then we have some information about the device, management IP address, the connector that's feeding the SaaS environment that we're going through, the site, and then other applications that are on this load balancer. We also have the model, subscription information, and then device firmware. And we can see that there's an update that we can go ahead and download that update from the temp site. CPU memory utilization, connection information, as well as the health of the LoadMaster over the last 7 days. And then total LoadMaster connections, and then you can see them per application as well. Sticking over here, we have license repo. So from demo mode, it's really not giving the full picture, but you can get an idea of what we have here from expiring subscriptions, right? So you go get those renewals in, and then just a list of all of the LoadMasters you would have and some information about what's going on each one of those devices. The certificates, we saw that widget that is being fed from this area here of our 9 certificates, and again, all in good shape, but you can kind of get a list of all those certificates from this area. And then we have our real servers, which is all the real servers that are pulled in from all of the virtual services that we're monitoring through LoadMaster 360. The Incident Center, here we have, again, a lot of different filtering capabilities. If you want to see unresolved ones or all of them, we can see by severity. We can also see, over the last 90 days versus the last day. And we can also have search, obviously, as well. We can drill into these to get that more information on what happened and things like that, related issues, and, of course, previous occurrences. Now, the communication channels to notify those incidents out of the incident center. Now I'm going to have to toggle this up again so I can go in. I have one here. It's being sent to my email. So if I go ahead and edit that, you can see we have rules that are associated with these communication channels. So what I can do is I can create these rules, which will filter or really give me the ability to get very granular about what I'm going to get alerted on, right? So I can do all assets, or I can select certain assets within here based on the application or the devices, right? So just say I'm I'm just responsible for the exchange application, and I don't want to be alerted on any of this other stuff. I can go ahead and select that, and that's all I'll be alerted on. Days when I want to, right? I'm off this weekend. Someone else is on call, so that'll take another rule would take place with another communication channel to notify that person. Also, the hours, right? We can select what hours I get notified, as well as the severity on whether or not it's critical and warning or one or the other. And then the last piece is the last navigation item in the system is users. We can invite more, additional users to the LoadMaster 360 environment. Again, you can invite them, and then they have a certain amount of time to accept that invitation, or else they go expired, and then you have to re-invite them again. And then usage and billing, right, for the LoadMaster 360 license here. So you see we have a subscription here. We have 10 assets, and it's really our starter plan, and you can add additional assets to this subscription as well. One other thing I wanted to point out when it comes to the LoadMaster, right, when we're looking at that other one, we also see, in this case, we have HA pairs of LoadMaster. So here we're also identifying them as an HA pair where we can see who's active and who's standby. So again, a lot of details about not only the LoadMasters in the environment, the applications in the environment, and really bunch of different features that have been enabled in this environment, and how we're surfacing that all through these dashboards. Okay, now onto the roadmap. We have some exciting features coming soon, all targeted for the first half of 2024 that I'm really excited to share with you. Starting off with user insights, providing a better understanding of the user experience and providing the ability to address potential issues in a proactive manner, right, rather than reactive. If we remember, I called out the other progress products in the portfolio in the beginning there, and how we're leveraging the expertise outside of that LoadMaster team. And here's one example. Progress Flowmon, among other things, delivers network performance monitoring and diagnostics with its ability to analyze flow data on the network, looking at the RTT, the round trip time, server response time, to help pinpoint where the performance issues may reside. Now, this is all in a per application flow, and the ability to access per user flows, accessing the application. Finding out, is it the user's laptop or the home office connection? Is it the network, or is it the application server that's causing the slowness? Having the ability to quickly determine this rather than pointing fingers with really no proof of where the problem truly is. I personally cannot wait to get access to this and start to kick the tires. I showed some WAF insights in the LoadMaster 360, the widgets that we have today. The enhancement to the WAF capabilities is taking this to a whole other level, working with our partnership with OWASP and the mod security community to deliver even more insights and tooling, identifying and surfacing false positives in an easy to understand format, and providing a rule tuner, right, to help you minimize these false positives, generating custom rules and providing guidance to users on how to best utilize the WAF. Really exciting stuff. Looking at this dashboard, getting visibility into really to help you understand what's happening from the WAF standpoint in your environments. And lastly, real server monitoring. Again, now utilizing the What's Up Gold team at Progress with their infrastructure monitoring expertise. This is going to, again, bring it to another level within the Incident Center to provide even more guidance on root cause analysis and remediation of application delivery issues. Right in this dashboard, we can see specifics on the actual real server, right, from from a CPU, memory, disk, really help us really understand what's happening in the entire application stack. So that brings us to the end. A lot of information in a short amount of time. So let's get right into some questions.
Hey there, Kurt. So I do see a few questions. The first that I have is, can I have LoadMasters that are running in the public cloud added to LoadMaster 360?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So one thing that we did show in there is our ability to have a connector in Azure, right? So that's in beta right now. So you can deploy that connector in Azure to start, you know, the load masters that are running in Azure, you can actually feed them through that connector. The load masters that are running in other clouds, as long as there's connectivity between the connector wherever it may reside and those load masters that are in those other clouds, as long as there's connectivity, you can still pull them in through, pull them into LoadMaster 360. So if you have like, what's it, Express Route or Direct Connect, or with the different connectivity options into those public clouds, you can definitely pull in those load masters into 360. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, I have another question here. How many rules can I add to a communications channel?
So currently, 10 rules we're able to add to a communications channel, but you can obviously add multiple communications channel if you need more than 10. So you can kind of duplicate those, and if you needed more than 10, but 10 is right now the limit on the communications channel.
Okay. And then lastly, I have here, how much data retention is available?
Okay, so that's so right currently it's 90 days data retention using the starter kit. So 90 days would be the amount of data retention that we're providing currently. And again, as we start adding different SKUs and things like that, right, there could be a possibility where we extend that, but currently it's 90 days.
Okay, perfect. That's the final question that I have for you today.
Okay.
So again, I would like to thank everyone for joining us for today's webinar. As I mentioned earlier, this session has been recorded, and you will receive an email containing a link to the recording. We thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you.